Hey there, and welcome back to All Things Winter with Life in DIY with Amanda. So I'm skipping right over. Um, I'm not going to do Christmas yet. So I'm doing winter because after Thanksgiving, I do winter. And then after Christmas, I leave winter up. So it just keeps me from getting into another basket, basically, where I have to put fall back because I have Halloween up, yada, yada. So anyway, so I'm doing all things birch in this video. So I love birchwood. It is so pretty and so versatile, and it goes with pretty much every decor. Like, you don't have to be farmhouse to love birch. You could be glamour, you could be this, you could be that. So that's the nice thing about birchwood is it's gorgeous. But let me just tell you, it's expensive to get it in all the different kinds of designs that they have. So I'm going to show you a couple ways how to do this on the cheap. Okay. So here are these candles. I bought these on Amazon, and I just took my little carving tool and I just carved the little wood like designs in them. I etched out some little eyes because, birchwood has little eyes in them. Um, and stuff like that. So we're going to start with these, and then we're going to use black, gray, and white. Doesn't matter what paint you have, it all will work. But it is a combination of the black, gray, and the white. So I'm going to start here with the smaller candle, and I'm going to add some gray into my little notches. So see how I made like those, they almost look like an eye. So I made little notches in there, and I'm putting some gray into the spots there. So that way it gives me my first layer of dimension. So you're going to see as I'm painting this candle that it's layers upon layers upon layers of dimension to make it look like this. So that's the nice thing about faux candles is that they're LED, so you won't burn your house down with them, but they actually have like a pretty good amount of wax on the outside to give it that more realistic look. So that's how I was able to carve into them. So I started with the gray, and now I'm just going to make the little eye in the middle with the birch. So if you Google birch, you're going to see, what it looks like. And you could see my phone in the left-hand corner there, and I just kind of would reference back and forth, looking at a picture of a birch tree just to kind of see how I was going. So I was a little worried at first using my heat gun on the candle, but it totally didn't even melt the mat. Hello, I could talk. It didn't even melt the wax. So now I'm going to take my stencil brush that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to go ahead and put white all over my candle because my candles are white, but they're kind of shimmery. And let me tell you, birchwood is not shimmery. So I'm going to cover it up with my white paint here. And then it's just going to go on the layers. So I'm going to go a little bit over the little eyes because, I don't want them to look like eyes. I want them to look like notches in birchwood. So, and the great thing about all this is it doesn't affect the glow of the candle. It's just as bright as it would be if I hadn't painted it. So it's awesome. So I'm just going to add a little bit of cashew on top. So cashew is just more of like an ivory color, really, just to kind of break up a little bit of the solid white. You could do this step, you could not do this step, whatever. So I'm just adding some black here and there, and then I'm going to use my stencil brush and kind of smear it out so it looks more realistic. So this candle project is so much fun because it's a lot of fun to just keep adding colors and layers until you like it, because guess what? It's going to be in your house. You need to love it. So you do you. You do you, boo. I'll do me, and we'll go from there. So I just painted the inside a little bit because it was still that real shimmery white. But I don't know if you're like me, but I have probably 50 LED candles in my house. Like, I love me some candles. But, with all my kids running around my house when they were younger, I didn't really burn candles in my house because I was so afraid that somebody was going to catch something on fire, which, funny story, but not funny, one of my kids actually did catch my bedroom on fire with a candle once. So that's a whole nother story. But anyway, so I was traumatized. Traumatized. It was my oldest son. You live and you learn with your kids. But my oldest son, yes, lit my bedroom on fire. It was scary. Nobody was hurt. So from that moment, let's see, he was probably like 8 or 9, and he's 26 now. So that is how long I went without burning candles in my house. So because I was just so paranoid. So anyways, as you see, I'm just doing layer after layer. I notched out a little bit more wax because I wanted it to have a little bit more rustic look to it. And you just, like I said, you just play with this until you are happy with what it looks like. So I go over each layer and then I take it down with the white, and then I add another layer and I take it down with the white. So yes, back to my addiction of candles. I love candles. I love the glow. I love the way it makes it feel, especially in the fall and the winter. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that was me showing you the first candle. Now this one is a Dollar Tree candle because not everybody has an obsession with LED candles like I do. But let me tell you, you could take your buns down to the Dollar Tree and go get you one of these candles. And so I'm doing the exact same thing as I'm just carving into the candle with my little carving tool. And it cost me $1. So this whole project right here is going to cost me $1. So you're probably wondering, Amanda, why did you carve into the candle and now you're going to cover it up? Because you know what? I think it sticks better with a little bit of roughing up of the candle underneath. So this is just an everyday lunch bag, and I ripped it up. That's just water. And that's Mod Podge. Now, if you don't have Mod Podge, guess what? Water and glue do the same thing. So you don't have to get fancy smancy with it. You just use what you got. But amazingly enough, I don't have any just regular glue. So I'm using my Mod Podge. So I put some on the candle, and I'm doing essentially paper mache here. So I'm just going to go all the way around my candle with a bunch of paper, a lunch bag. You can use tissue paper. You can use toilet paper. You can use, like the brown bags you get from the grocery store. Anything paper-esque. They have that big, gigantic roll of craft paper at the Dollar Tree, and you get a whole thing of it for $1. Excuse me. So, that might be handy dandy too, because as you see, I'm going to do a whole nother project that you could use the craft paper on as well. So I'm just balling this little guy up right here because I'm making a knot. So because I don't have anything to carve into on top of this paper, I'm making my own little knot, and I just kind of stick it on there. So you're going to see that it didn't want to stay. So I'm going to use hot glue in the end with that. So I'm just going to keep going around and around my candle here until I love the way it looks. I go around and I go up and down as well. So you don't have to just go in one direction. I wanted texture because that is the key to this project, is texture. So definitely let me know down in the comments if you are glad I'm doing winter, because a lot of my favorite creators are all the way up in Christmas already, and which is important because if you don't get your Christmas stuff now from the Dollar Tree to do some of the projects that you're going to see, you're not going to get it. So let me just give you a little advice. Go to the dollar store, get you a bunch of winter Christmas stuff to do, and I'll get there because I really love winter. I love winter. I love the cold. I love it. So I took my heat gun and I dried up my paper mache, and now I'm just dolloping some glue on there, and I'm going to stick my little knot on top there. If you don't want to do this part, you don't have to. You could actually use the glue on it and make the ridges and just paint over the glue, like I've done in my other candle videos. This is a super easy project. And like I said, it's really personal preference. And at the end shot of this, you're going to see just how beautifully that this still glows with all this paper all over it, like for $1. So, because I guarantee you, you're never going to find a birch candle for $1 that's LED. That's for sure. Not going to happen. So I'm just pushing them down on there. I hate glue strings. Look see, they're all hanging all over the place. Anyway, so yes, comment below and let me know if winter is your jam, because winter is my jam. Because I love Christmas. I love the whole feel of Christmas. But, you go through all that work to put all that stuff up and then you got to rip it all down. That makes me sad. So I have transitioned my life into winter. So winter, and then the only thing really different that I do in the month of December is I put up my Christmas tree, and I put a couple little signs here and there in my house that say Merry Christmas or, whatever. But most of it's just a bunch of bottle brush trees, mountainscapes, snowy, um, lots of candles, that kind of stuff. I love winter. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and paint over this. Now, you don't want to do a solid coat of paint because you want some of that brown to come through because it looks more realistic. So you can tell that I'm just brushing over. It's a bit heavier than a dry brush, but not a full coat. And I'm using chalk paint just because I prefer chalk paint over acrylic paint, but acrylic paint would work just fine here. They have paints at the dollar store. You can really do this for super inexpensive. But really, this project is costing me $1 because the candle was $1. And so you're going to see the same process I did with the other candle. Basically, I'm just going to go layer by layer by layer until I feel like it looks good. And you could see where some of the paper kind of rolled back, and I left it like that because if you look at natural birch wood, it does have like these really cool like peels in the wood. So I wanted to make sure that I left it there so that it kind of looked more realistic. I'm going to put Jammering on, and I'm going to let you watch me do this one. And definitely let me know what you guys think of this in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Like, comment, all that good stuff. It really does help my channel grow because without you guys, I wouldn't have a channel. And I'm just so thankful for every single one of you for hanging out and watching me do these videos. So I'm just going to let you watch. Okay, so here's our side-by-side comparison. You can see the difference. One has way more texture than the other. Either way, they still look super cute. So of course, I had to mess with it because it was like not exactly what I wanted. But anyway, so I'm done with this one, and I think it came out super cute. I mean, can you believe that was a dollar store candle? I mean, how cute is that? A little glue, a little brown paper, and there you go. Okay, so now this one right here is awesome because this is super, super cheap. So I took some toilet paper rolls because, you always have toilet paper rolls, right? And then I took some brown paper and I paper mached the toilet paper roll. So I love tiered trays, and I thought these would be perfect for my tiered trays for the winter time. So I'm just going to glue some paper on here, and I just kind of smear it on. I go up and down and sideways, and just to give it as much texture as possible. So with the Mod Podge, what I like about the Mod Podge water mixture is that it gives it like a nice cool coat on the outside when it dries. But I know not everybody has this kind of stuff, so I thought, let me try this with a glue stick. So ladies and gents, let me tell you, you can glue the paper on with a glue stick. Now, I'm not exactly sure that would work with the wax candles that we did earlier, but it definitely worked here. And so I just picked up some glue sticks. I got these at the 99-cent only store, but really things not 99 cents only there. And anyways, I think I paid $2 for a pack of 6 of the Gorilla Glue sticks. And let me tell you, they worked so good. So this video is really about teaching you guys to think outside the box. Like, what can you possibly do to make decor for your home that is not going to break the bank? Because let me just tell you, like, who wants to spend all that money on stuff and then you're just going to put it away in like a month, right? So I just figured that's what really started my journey with this. It's like, I really like these things, but how can I make them and not be so expensive? And this was like, okay, so we're free right at this particular moment. And I'm just putting the glue and the paper all over the toilet paper roll. I love to give you guys options because not everybody has everything that I have, because I've been crafting for a long time. So I have quite the stash. So you can see the one that I just laid down has the Mod Podge on it. So you can see the difference. And then that one doesn't. So I'm going to do these exactly like I did the rest of the candles. So I'm going to dry brush some, well, a little bit more than dry brush some white over the brown paper. And you're probably wondering, like, do I have to put the brown paper over there? You don't have to, but you'll see how it causes more texture. So it looks more realistic with the extra added layer on there. So I'm just going to paint all these white, and then I'm going to do them up just like I did the other candles. So I'm going to let you go ahead and watch this part and let me know what you think. So I just had to come in and say, look at these come to life. Like I almost like these better than the candles I did. And they're just toilet paper rolls with some brown paper over them. But once I'm dry brushing the gray and the black, they just really, it really comes to life. And you can see all the detail that just adding a little bit of paper to the toilet paper roll makes it look so pretty. I love these. So I'm thinking you can even do bigger ones, or you can uh use like a paper towel roll and cut it down the middle, and then you can even wrap those around existing candles. Like, so take the roll, lay it flat, do all this stuff to it, and then wrap around um existing candles that you don't even have to paint. That would be super awesome too. So these are tea light candles from the Dollar Tree. So you get 2 for $1. So this whole project right here is going to cost me $1.50. So, because I'm going to put 1 tea light in each little candle thing. And I mean, honestly, where are you going to find these? So you're going to see that I'm having some issues with these tea lights. I don't know what the problem is. I've never had so many issues with tea lights before, because like, so this one lights up, and but the rest of them just decided they weren't going to work. So as you can see, if I just tried to put the tea light through the top there, it's gonna just fall through. So it's gonna fall through. So I just took my glue gun and I added some glue all the way around, and I'm just gonna glue it to the inside of that. And I put a big thick bead on there because I wanted it to really fill in the space. And if some of that glue comes over the top, no biggie, because it looks like the candle's dripping wax. And I almost went back and did that because you know how I love my candle wax drippies. So those two lit, and then this last one I couldn't get lit, and then that middle one decided it wasn't going to stay lit. And these are brand new. I had just pulled them out. Well, I have a menagerie, a box full of these kind of candles. So this is this is my biggest suggestion. If you don't, to not worry about the tea light candles from the Dollar Tree, I would buy them on Amazon. I want to say they're like $5 or $6, but they're on a timer. They're on a timer or a remote. They're not expensive at all. And I would prefer to do this because you would have to turn the candle over, stick your finger in there, turn them off, and then turn it back on. It's going to be a pain in the butt, honestly. So if you could just do the timer ones or the ones with the remote, it would be so much better. It'd be definitely worth it to invest. So here's me trying to like, ooh, can I tape down that thing so it'll stay on? But it doesn't. So that's why the end shot, you're going to see that it's missing, but you get the point. Because I have a bunch of tea light candles from Pier 1, which are on timers. So I'm going to use those. So that's it. Simple, easy peasy. Great project. I love this. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think about this. I thought it was so cute. I just imagine how many you could do. And I even cut one down. You'll see here on the end here that I cut one down to be a little bit shorter so that they're not all the same size. Yeah, so definitely cute. So that first one is the Amazon candle. The second one's the Dollar Tree candle. And then these 3 are the toilet paper rolls. I think they came out so cute. Don't mind my Halloween in the background because it is Halloweeny town in my house right now. So I was going to clear off an area to do it, but I decided, you know what? Let's just be real. It is Halloween time. So I think these came out super cute. I cannot wait to hear what you think of them. So this shot is with the lights on. The next one is going to be with the lights off, just so you can see what they really look like. And I thank you guys so much for being here, and I appreciate you. So like I said, subscribe if you haven't, like the video, and leave a comment below and let me know what you think of these. Okay, so continuing on with our all things birch. These are pool noodles. Got them at the Dollar Tree. well, the remnants of pool noodles because I used them for something else. But you don't need a lot for this. So I'm just using my little cutty tool and I'm going to cut in there. This is like an X-Acto knife where you stick your, see how I have it on my finger right there? So when you're cutting a straight line, it totally helps. It's awesome. I got it on Amazon. If I can find the link, then I'll list it below, but I bought it like 2 years ago, so that's a lot of digging through my Amazon, but I'll look it up. So pool noodles, and this is just craft paper essentially. Like I said in the last clip that we were going to use craft paper, so you could totally get it from the Dollar Tree. This is just like, you know, what you use to wrap fragile stuff, and I just had a bunch of this left over from where I had got it from, and so I'm using it for this. So I'm just rolling it around my pool noodle, and you don't want it to be smooth. Like, see how there's wrinkles under my hands? Like, that is a-okay. We want to wrinkle it up, and I'm just using my handy dandy glue stick and rolling it on. So, and then you see me kind of like crease the lines there, because that's going to help give your birch log a more realistic look. So I know that this is out of shot. I wish I had a different angle lens, but we'll get there. Lenses are expensive, so we're going to make do with how we got it. So I'm just gluing the ends together there. Used a little hot glue, used the little glue stick. And then I'm going to do the other side, trimming off the excess. Scrunchy, scrunchy. Like, who would have thought you could make birchwood logs out of pool noodles that are bright and scary looking? So I don't recommend spray painting these pool noodles, because when you spray paint them, it kind of eats them. That's why instead of painting them, I went ahead and used the paper over them. But you could technically paint them, or you could do the step where we did with the birchwood candles and just use ripped up paper bag to go all around them. So I'm going to add more ripped up paper bag, because again, this is all about the texture. This is what gives it the real look that it is. And I'm just going to use my glue stick and I'm going to stick it on willy-nilly, like just kind of wherever I thought it should go. But I'm not covering this 100% because, like I said, it's going to give it dimension, because there's the difference between the craft paper that's underneath, which is thinner, and then the lunch bag, which is thicker. So I'm just going to cap off the ends here just to give it a more cohesive look rather than folded up paper on the end. There's my little squished up paper, which is going to be my knot. All birchwood has some kind of knot in it. Like, so you got to have some kind of knot to give it that more realistic look. So the cool thing about these particular birchwood logs is that they're super lightweight. They're the weight of a pool noodle. So they're easy to store. And you make them as big as small as you want and as many as you want. I have known people that have put like real birchwood in their fireplace. Like, they don't use their fireplace, but it's kind of like their faux fireplace. So they just leave it under there and it gives it that, you know, just look like there's something in there. Mine in particular, I'm going to be putting in a wire basket by my front door because I think it's just super cute. I don't have a fireplace in my house, so I don't. One of these days I'm going to build a faux fireplace, and believe me, you guys will be around for that funness. But yeah, because I don't want to clean up a real fireplace. I love it. They're so wonderful, but they're so messy. So I'm just going to go ahead and dry. So like, again, it's more than a dry brush, but it's not a full coat of white paint all over this whole thing here. So I just took hot glue and I did the little swirls on the end to look like the inside rings of the log. And then I'm going to put hot glue lines on here. So, you know, gosh, if you guys have been around since I started, you know I love hot glue. Hot glue is so universal. It works on everything. Um, Sometimes you have to change the temperature of it to get to work on the particular material that you're using. But I mean, it just adds a little bit more dimension and it's just glue. So what I didn't show you in that shot is I burnt the holy crap out of my hand because the log went to roll away from me and I grabbed it and I stuck my hand right in that glue and I still have the blister right now as we speak from it. So be careful. This is my warning for you. Be careful with hot glue because even when you have like cook hands, as my husband calls it, like he could grab something that's so hot and I don't know how he does it, but he calls it cook hands. I have craft hands and that still was super, super hot. So just be careful with the hot glue when you're doing it. And so you see here, I'm just going over the glue that's dried and I'm just adding black to it. So it really does give it that dimension. I mean, look, it takes it up to the next level. So that's the fun part is that, you know, you just kind of keep taking it up, add different textures, you know, to your stuff. You can add more paper bag, less paper bag, whatever, but it just really comes to life. I absolutely love this project. I am not the originator of this. I have seen so many people create this, but I've been doing this for years, just to kind of add some pizzazz to my winter decor. And I wanted to share it with you guys just to show you how I do it because everybody does it a little bit different. So I hope that you guys love this. I'm still working on a few more of these so that I could put them in my basket. And I'm going to do like a winter, just like show you how I set up winter in my house. So you'll be able to see them then. But yeah, just layers and layers. And I noticed that that whole spot right there is not painted white, but in the very end, you'll see that I caught it. It's funny because I didn't notice it up close, but in the video, you could see it for sure. So again, just layers upon layers. I'm going to add some gray. I add some more swizzles there. And here she is in all her glory. I think it is so adorable. I absolutely love this. I hope you guys love it too. And I'll see you next time.